When you think of Calgary, your mind might immediately jump to cowboy hats, the Stampede, or maybe even the towering peaks of the Rockies. But Calgary is far more than a collection of stereotypes or postcard-perfect scenes. It's a city that embodies contrasts, modern and traditional, urban and wild, ambitious and down-to-earth. And to truly understand Calgary, you have to see it not just as a dot on the map, but as a living, breathing place where every street, every building, and every person has a story to tell. Flying into Calgary is an experience in itself. As you descend, the prairies look like an endless quilt of gold, green, and brown, stitched together by winding rivers and straight as an arrow roads. Then, just as your eyes adjust to the flatness, the Rockies burst into view, a wall of rugged stone and snow that seems to rise from nowhere. It's this geography that sets the tone for Calgary's personality. A city grounded in the open, hard-working spirit of the prairies, but forever drawn toward the adventure and beauty of the mountains. The land here has been home to Indigenous peoples for thousands of years, long before the word Calgary ever existed. The Blackfoot Confederacy, Tsuut'ina Nation, and Stoney Nakoda nations lived and thrived on these plains, following the massive bison herds that provided food, clothing, tools, and shelter. Their deep connection to the land is still felt today, not just in the traditions that are celebrated, but in the way Calgarians see themselves, as stewards of both the prairie and the mountain environments. The city's modern history began in 1870 with the arrival of the Northwest Mounted Police, who built Fort Calgary to maintain order in what was then the frontier. At that time, the area was attracting traders, ranchers, and adventurers, people looking for opportunity in the wide open West. The completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1883 changed everything. Suddenly, Calgary wasn't just an outpost, it was a hub. Goods, people, and ideas flowed through here, and the ranching industry boomed. For decades, Calgary's identity was tied to cattle and ranching. You can still feel echoes of that heritage today, not just in the Stampede, but in the way the city values hard work, independence, and community. Then came 1914, when oil was discovered near Turner Valley. That moment planted the seeds for what would become Calgary's other defining industry. By the mid-20th century, the city was thriving as Canada's energy capital, home to headquarters of major oil and gas companies. But Calgary is not a one-note city. In the past 2 decades, it has worked hard to diversify its economy. Today, it's also a center for technology, clean energy innovation, finance, film production, and logistics. The city's business landscape is changing in ways that make it more resilient, more forward-thinking, and more creative. Downtown Calgary is where you feel the business heartbeat. The skyline is dotted with towers like the Bow and Brookfield Place, home to corporate offices but also art installations, shops, and restaurants. On weekdays, the streets hum with professionals heading to meetings, grabbing coffee, or chatting on street corners. But Calgary's downtown isn't just about work. Stephen Avenue offers a charming mix of historic sandstone buildings, boutiques, and lively patios. The Peace Bridge, with its bold red structure spanning the Bow River, is both a practical crossing and a beloved local landmark. Housing in Calgary ranges from ultra-modern condos in the core to character-filled homes in historic neighborhoods like Inglewood, where brick buildings house record shops, breweries, and quirky boutiques. Kensington offers a bohemian vibe, with cafes, bookstores, and bike paths, while newer suburbs like Sutton and Evanston provide spacious family homes, parks, and easy access to amenities. Compared to Vancouver or Toronto, Calgary's real estate has historically been more affordable, though market trends fluctuate along with the economy. What sets Calgary apart from many other North American cities is how closely it's tied to nature. The Bow River cuts right through the heart of the city, lined with an extensive network of pathways for walking, running, and cycling. Prince's Island Park feels like a green oasis, especially during summer festivals when live music drifts through the trees. And if you're an outdoor enthusiast, the fact that you can finish a workday and be on a hiking trail in the Rockies within 90 minutes is nothing short of magical. The Calgary Stampede is perhaps the city's most famous calling card. Every July, the city transforms into a celebration of Western culture, complete with rodeos, chuck wagon races, concerts, parades, and pancake breakfasts served up on street corners. Locals embrace the cowboy aesthetic wholeheartedly, dusting off boots and hats and welcoming visitors with open arms. It's part festival, part tradition, and part giant family reunion. But the cultural life of Calgary goes far beyond the Stampede. The Glenbow Museum offers deep dives into art, history, and culture. The National Music Centre celebrates Canada's musical heritage while supporting new talent. The city's theaters stage everything from Shakespeare to experimental plays, and the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra delivers performances that rival those in larger cities. Street art, murals, and sculptures pop up throughout the city, adding color and creativity to public spaces. Calgary's dining scene is a reflection of its diversity. Yes, you'll find some of the best steaks in the country here, but you'll also encounter Vietnamese pho so authentic it transports you to Hanoi, Indian curries rich with spices, sushi made with precision, and Middle Eastern shawarma bursting with flavor. Farmers markets showcase Alberta-grown produce, artisan cheeses, baked goods, and handmade crafts. Life in Calgary has its seasons, and they shape the way people live. Winters can be cold and snowy, but the city's famous Chinook winds can bring a sudden warm spell that melts snow in a matter of hours. Summers are warm and sunny, perfect for patio dining, outdoor concerts, and trips to nearby lakes. Fall brings golden leaves and crisp air, while spring is a season of renewal and anticipation. Transportation is convenient by Canadian standards. The C-Train light rail system connects key parts of the city, and cycling infrastructure is expanding. Still, many Calgarians rely on cars, especially to explore beyond the city limits. And with so much beauty nearby, it's no wonder. Calgary consistently ranks high on global livability indexes. It's clean, safe, and full of green spaces. There's a sense of optimism here, a belief that tomorrow can be better than today. That optimism is rooted in the city's history. Calgary has weathered booms and busts, harsh winters and rapid growth, and each time it has adapted and thrived. When the sun dips behind the mountains, painting the sky in shades of orange, pink, and purple, the city takes on a different mood. The lights come on downtown, reflecting in the Bow River, while in neighborhoods across the city, families gather for dinner, friends meet in pubs, and musicians tune their instruments for the night's performance. Calgary isn't just a place you visit, it's a place you experience, through its people, its landscapes, its culture, and its energy. It's a city where the spirit of the West lives on, not just in cowboy boots and rodeo arenas, but in the resilience, openness, and warmth of everyone you meet.